That's it, come here. Cell Squad is something. Don't look off the dance, man. Yo, you want something? Yeah, man, Cell Squad is... yeah, man, don't lock it off. Don't tell her. Guess what, Squad? Go buy a peanut from the peanut man. When him I go through in the dance. Welcome to True Island Stories. This is part 2 of the Jamaican Virgin. Kirby's cunning response put a momentary smile on Tia's face. And he then rubbed her thighs, telling her it was okay, no worries. He could wait a few more days for the vaginal caress. She managed a thank you on a very heavy heart, and for the rest of their commute to her apartment, it was silent as a mute's graveyard. He dropped her off and watched her go in her apartment. And for the next week, he called her and she never answered. She went incognito. Tia made several trips disguised in different taxis to Washington Gardens, driving past Scoffrey's and Terry's house on numerous occasions just to see if her eyes had deceived her that night at the club. How dare he came to Jamaica and not informed her? She had so many questions. On her last trip to Washington Gardens after work on her spy Renaissance mission rated G14 classified, she still didn't see him. Her phone rang as she was exiting Washington Gardens. It was a private number and she didn't like answering private numbers. So she let it ring for about 4 times, but then curiosity got the better of her and she answered, and to her surprise, it was her brother. She said, "Boy, is it? Where do I call my phone private? You're lucky me answer, you know. Hold on, me. Somebody want to talk to you." By the time she said who, a male voice at the other end said, "Tia, it's me, Scoffrey." She didn't answer. Her first thought was to hang up the phone, but the fire in her chest forbid her. She barely said, "Hello? Scuff, what's up?" Before he answered her, she said, "I can't believe you come to Jamaica and link me." "How want me do you, sir?" "Who said me no link you? Matter of fact, I called you 6 months before checking up on you and heard you were in a very committed relationship. Even up to a week before I came, I called and nothing changed, sir. I never want to violate anyone. I even bring some things here and drop them off around here, old lady, and beg her, don't give you until I leave. Ask her if I lie, me I tell. God no," said Scoffrey. "I see you found company in the process, though. I thought you had better taste than that," said Tia. You see your defiance get like had trouble," said Scoffrey laughingly. "Terry, I'm a cousin by my mother's side." "Mother's side?" said Tia. Him say, "Cousin and cousin boy good so fair like concern." "Well, a good thing, me never bring my pot on my stirring spoon," said Scoffrey, making Tia laugh and breaking the ice in the process. "So how are things with you and yours?" asked Scoffrey apprehensively. "Good," answered Tia. "Can't complain." "Okay, cool," said Scoffrey. "Glad to hear. I'm really happy for you, though." "Thanks," Tia responded. "So, okay, I'm going to let you get back to your busy schedule," said Scoffrey. It was really nice, speaking to you again and seeing you. So, you're more beautiful than I could ever imagine. You really took care of yourself, I'm not going to lie. And thanks for taking the time out to speak to me. I really appreciate it. So, bye and take care." "Wait," said Tia. "How long are you here for?" "Here for?" responded Scoffrey. "I'm not here for. I moved back home. I got a job as a manager at Scotiabank with great benefits and a high-end car, and I decided to just take it and move back home for good." "For good? Or good?" asked Tia rather enthusiastically. "For good. Me done with foreign for good, unless me just go back for visit." "So what happened to your wife?" "Wife," answered Scoffrey. "I never got married, And if you should know, unlike you, ma'am, I'm free, single and disengaged." "Well, okay then," Tia said somewhat satisfyingly with a broad smile on her face. "So where are you now?" "I'm just asking for a friend." I'm right at your mom's gate in Washington Garden. I'm about to leave here in a minute and go by my apartment to grab a shower and go have dinner. Do you know any good Chinese restaurant in New Kingston? Long for eat some real Jamaican Chinese food. Me have one in the car right now at here after under about a leather seat just a wait for you, said Tia under her breath. Wait, what did you just say? Asked Scuffy quickly. Nothing, said Tia. At the car leather, I said it needs some upholstery. Sure. They both laughed. And then Tia recommended Golden Dragon Restaurant in Ligonier. Look, Scuffy, I don't have anything on my schedule later, so if you need some casual company for dinner, I'm happy to go show you around. I'm game. Well, that's if you don't have company already. No, said Scuffy. I'm flying solo, man. It would be my pleasure to have dinner with you, even if it's only casual. There are a lot of things people can do casually and still enjoy. Yagalang, said Tia. It's too much. Depending on how much is too much, said Scuffy, referring to a more intimate setting. Easy, Why you still the same Scuffy, One thing always, you have to find a way to make me laugh, though, no matter what. Anyways, are your number this? Make a save it, said Tia. Babes, said Scuffy. I don't want to get in trouble, You worry about you and I'll worry about me, said Tia. I pay my own bills and push my own door key. Okay, said Scuffy. 7 p.m. it is then. Just text me the address and I'll reserve the tables. And please don't be late. Don't worry, I won't be late, said Tia. Okay, Scuffy, see you there. See you there, bye. Bye, said Scuffy. And they both hung up. Scuffy was there at the restaurant by 7 p.m. sharp, dapperly dressed, fully Louis V down to the socks. Tia arrived 10 minutes afterwards in a sexy red dress cut above her knees with Christian Louboutin stilettos and a red purse to match. They were a match made in heaven. The night Tia saw Scuffy in the club, her and Kirby's relationship was over. It was dead like disco. Scuffy got up and pulled out Tia's chair like a true gentleman. And they ordered food and wine and reminisced on old times while they ate and drank. After dinner, both of them decided it was too early to go home. So they decided to go to TGI Fridays to continue the party. They were having mad fun while unrealizingly getting closer together. So Tia decided to seize the initiative by telling Scuffy, let's continue the party at my apartment. His eyes lit up like when crackhead uncle just saw his nephew's wallet fell out of his pocket. On the ride to Tia's apartment, the erotic excitement had commenced. We have come to the end of part 2 of the Jamaican Virgin. Join us soon on the True Island Stories channel for part 3 as it gets more erotic. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Only God matters in my world. She be tripping softly. Me and a chill on a bill in my room. Then she take a pill as if the broom. Some in me cannot put in the tune from the room to the bathroom. Smell like perfume. Fat girl in my room, lockdown boom. Sex life for my best life. Cushion the energy, the best high, let's fly. Now the bucket of the G5. Me and my queen start on the queen size. Knee deep, now the B-side. In a bikini, buff like sun. Never buck another girl in the world, can't clock, yeah.